I can never tell. I can never tell anymore. I want to assume we're live because it says we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the workshop, episode 300. Pardon me. It's now the comedy workshop. We got a brand. Episode 315. We are very excited to have this panel for tonight. I'm hosting, last minute host. My name is Scott Porteous. I am the founding father of the workshop. Nobody calls me that, but I want it to be a thing. Anyways, we have a good time tonight. Before I bring them up, I just want to let you guys know who haven't seen what this show is. I contacted comedians from different parts of the world, and I give them a topic, a random topic. They have roughly a week, give or take, to write 3 to 5 minutes on. And then they will be going on here doing that shortly. And then after they do their set, we all give feedbacks, tags, suggestions, anything to really add to or improve or help the joke. It's not a comedy show. It's a comedy forum. It's something to really help us write and create a better material. Ideally, this is a place where an idea becomes a bit, becomes a joke, becomes a set, becomes a chunk, becomes a special. I love saying that. This is also a comedy. I want to say open forum. I don't want to say safe space. It's an open forum. By that, I mean, we might say something that's edgy, controversial, taboo, maybe offensive. We're not trying to be. We're just trying to work out jokes and see what works, what doesn't work. So please bear in mind when we work on our material, and don't be offended because I'm very passive, and I don't like confrontation. That being said, let's bring all our comics in tonight. We have Winston Hodges from Washington, right?
Washington, D.C. You got it.
Yes, I slowed down a little bit. Thank you for joining. We have Tim Miller from Montana. We have Clyde in Louisiana, and we have Joel in Atlanta. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being a part of the workshop. And let's get things started. And I'll start right now. Hang on. I have this bad habit of, like, when I do my sets, I don't put the spotlight on. So I'm going to do that. Bear with me. Solo Leo. Here we go. Woo! That's right. For once, I'm going to be selfish, and I'm going to take care of me a little bit. Here we go. All right. So the topic that I was given about an hour ago, because I'm a last minute host, just in case it goes bad, that's my excuse. It's the word fast lane. And I'm obviously going to read because I don't have a photographic memory. So here we go. Fast lane. So I live life in the fast lane, but only at like 15 miles an hour. Like, I like to enjoy the view. It's weird because I live dangerously, but at the same time, I take every precaution as well. Right? Like, it's not so much sex, drugs, and rock and roll as it's more lack of sex, antidepressants, and rocky road. Like, it's hard to live life in the fast lane with a dairy allergy and acid reflux. Like, like how about I live life in the carpool lane? Like, I'm not in that much of a rush. Like, I never understood people that wanted to live fast and die young, like those celebrities and rock stars who are almost motivated to die before 30. I don't understand that mentality. Like, it's a similar mentality to the people that actually plan on getting messed up when they drink. Like, happy birthday, my condolences for your liver. I just never understood the traditional way of celebrating birthdays. Like, hey, let's drink so much that the next day we regret being born. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't even drink that much. Like, I drink, but usually I stop at 2 because I have acid reflux due to my allergy to life itself. I don't know. It's weird having the body of a 60-year-old man and the immune system of an 80-year-old man. Like, I'm lactose intolerant. I have IBS and acid reflux, so I'll never be a true rock star, right? You have any idea how hard it is to overdose on dairy, right? Like the only 27 club I'd be able to join is the 27 foods that make me uncomfortable club, right? Like I don't break hearts, I only burn them, right? Like, I don't rock ballads, I rock bowels. I don't live and let live, I live and let die. Or you don't need to proceed with that one, but but you get it. Like I can't even be tough. Like, do you know how hard it is to look tough biting off the head of a bat with a fork and knife? It's just not. And that is my set. Thank you.
Woo.
Woo! Thank you very much, folks. I appreciate the concern. Anybody have some comments, suggestions, feedback, or anything?
No judgments here. I'm not in a position to judge anyone that I don't feel like. But no, I liked it. I liked that whole bit about life in the fast lane. I enjoyed that. I feel like hey, quick question, because you're in Canada, right?
Correct.
Do they have a store called Lane Bryant there?
Not that I know of. I'm also very introverted, so I don't know.
Okay, so I was thinking that maybe you could use Life in the Fast Lane Bryant instead. Basically, it's a woman's clothing store. That's not very expensive. So that was a thought I had. But since you don't have that, then I'll have to go to my backup, which is Live Life in the Fast Vein, or Life in the Fast Pain, or Life in the Fast Grain of Wheat that you're also allergic to. I don't know. That's all I got.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that, Clyde. Anybody else?
I like the bat line. I feel like you could maybe connect that to the whole, like, maybe COVID coming from a bat in China. Like, you don't want to eat a bat now.
Right. I was thinking that, but like I just didn't have the time to think more of how to develop into it. But yeah, that is a good idea. Like how Ozzy was like almost started COVID like 30 years ago or something.
Yeah. He was a real pioneer of COVID.
Yeah. Real trailblazer, that one.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Anybody else?
No, I really don't have anything. I think you're just very self-aware, and I think it fits into, like, you really wrote it in your voice and personality, so it all really like fit to like all the other comedy I've seen you do, like especially for writing it so quickly. Like, yeah. My only idea was about the COVID angle that like Tim had, or as time evolves, sometimes those jokes can just evolve with more and more topical animals, as maybe a moose comes into play or something down the road.
But
funny. Eating it with a knife and fork is just such a fun visual as well.
I agree. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing with Ozzy eating a bat, and yeah, I'm glad that all the three of us, the first thought we had was just like, yeah, that's how we all got here to doing this show. So
No, I wish I had different feedback, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, man.
I legit appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. I was trying to think of like more tags for that, like how to look like tough, and I was trying to think of like cliche rock star things, but I couldn't think of it. I was trying to think like, I don't know, like spitting blood on people or like playing through fire, but like that's more like metal. I don't know. I was trying to think of some more things to add to it, like a list, but I appreciate I might try to stretch that out just a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like things. Ozzy bit the heads off of bats. Like another stereotypical rock thing is destroying hotel rooms. You destroy bathrooms.
Yeah.
Like there's like I would just try to think of like, and metal works too, man. I mean, like a lot of people put rock and metal together, so spraying blood everywhere is something that would work. Like there's a lot of stereotypical rock things that like you could take and then just be like, okay, this is how I would do those things. So I think so I agree. I think that this just like needs more time. Like you said, you got it like for 40 minutes before. I mean, it's a great premise to build off of, because there is so many rock and roll cliches that I think you could really like take and riff on to expand that bit and get some extra tags and punches in there.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Because I just remembered I had two I didn't use, but like one I was going to say, it was like, you know how hard it is to look tough smashing a guitar on a pillow, or like wearing leather pajamas. You know what I mean? I was trying to think.
Leather pajamas.
Yeah, leather pajamas is good.
Yeah, drinking, maybe like you drink out of a sippy cup, like
a non-alcoholic.
Something, yeah. So, or like your groupie is like a teddy bear or something. Like, you know,
right.
Thinking of different themes.
Like my roadie is my mom, or something like that. Like
mm-hmm.
roadie, not groupie. I want to say roadie.
Not groupie.
Yeah, roadie.
Yeah, yeah. Good call.
My mom-in-law.
Good call.
Yeah, good call on that one. Good save, Scott.
Scott, I just want to
Awesome.
say,
And thank you, everybody. And that would be the.
Scott, I just want to say, I feel like you should definitely look into some leather pajamas, and you should wear them to every workshop. That would be amazing. In my
like
opinion.
that.
Pajamas is legit. Yeah. Yeah. There's so many different things in there you could draw on with just brainstorming.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Yeah. I thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the, I guess, clarity on that one because I wasn't sure if I was on the right path or not. But
Oh my
you
gosh,
assured that I
leather
was.
pajamas. I should have thought of that 15 years ago.
And your rock star name, like, it could be a play on Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know.
It's Skylar Styles. I already had that set up. That was my rock star, stripper, and porn star name at the same time.
Nice, dude.
Skylar Styles.
Efficient of you to have the same for 3.
I'm glad you're looking out for your brand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm a jacking of all trades. Okay. That's a horrible joke. All right, let's continue. So thank you everybody again with the topic of confusion.
Yeah. Can we not spotlight me? I would love to see people's face. I do not want to look at my own face for 4 minutes while I do my set. Is it possible to just do this? I like it when they do, because I want to see people's face.
Okay. Yeah.
Is
No,
that
for
cool?
sure.
Dude, because the thought of looking at my face for 4 minutes makes me feel like more of a sociopath than comedy already does. So, like,
You get used to it after a while, but okay, no problem. With the topic of confusion, everybody, give it up for
He doesn't
Winston.
care about the community. I'm sorry.
I don't care at all, dude.
Shit. Pardon me. One more thing I forgot to mention. I'm very sorry for this. If you guys are, I won't light, but I'll do this. If you're over,
Perfect.
just don't interrupt anything. Don't throw anybody off. If you're over, it's fine. Like if it's 5, 6 over, it's fine. If it's at 10, I might do like because I'm like I don't like confrontation. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. With that being said, with confusion, it is Winston Hodges. Whenever you're ready, let me know.
Cool, nice, exciting. Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about the things that were inspired by the word confusion. My grandmother is 87 years old, and she is in a nursing home, and she does have Alzheimer's. Yeah. Right before the pandemic, her aide, who is this small African-American lady, kissed my grandmother on the forehead one night before she went to bed. And then in front of the entire nursing home, my grandmother looked at me and said out loud, Winston, that's the first time I've ever been kissed by a black person before. Yeah. And I had to be like, holy shit, Grandma, I am so glad you said black. Oh boy, that was a close one. Oh man, you are 87 and this is a nursing home located in Farmville, Virginia. So hooray for progress is what I'm saying. That's very exciting. It's like, yeah, let's get this wheelchair out in the streets and start marching. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Isn't it great when the Alzheimer's doesn't make you forget to be woke? That's so positive. I really appreciate that from my grandma. Another thing with her that's I think pretty interesting is there was one day where I came in to visit her and her aide stepped out and was like, you got to get in there and do something about this. And I walked in there and my grandmother said, because she did not recognize me, I'll tell you what, I told the last person, I'll wash my pussy when I'm fucking ready to wash my pussy. And I stepped out and I looked the aide in the face and I was like, I don't really see a problem. I kind of feel like she's taken, agency for herself because she's a strong, independent woman. And I'm not about to tell my grandmother to do that. Okay. That's not going to happen, ma'am. And she told me, well, you have to do it. Okay. Because she won't listen to us. And if she won't let us do it, you have to go in there and do it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be honest with you right now, ma'am. If I go in there and I wash my grandmother's genitals, she has Alzheimer's. She will not remember it. I am 30. I will never forget. So that's not happening. That is a thing that we're not doing at all. Quite frankly, I feel like this is how she's going to go out. All right. It kind of feels like what she's going to have to do. I don't know. With her, which is, I don't know. I love my grandma to death. She's amazing. But like she's at the point where she doesn't recognize all the family that comes in, and she'll just kind of think we're different family members, which is usually fine. And until one time I came in there and she just thought I was her brother. And then I saw a picture of that dude and I was like, fuck you. How could you possibly, are you kidding me? I am so much more handsome than this gentleman. What are we even talking about? This is hurtful. All right. My mom was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, Winston. It's like maybe he looked like you when he was a baby." No, he was an ugly fucking baby. I saw the pictures. He was a terrifying changeling of a baby. Just a bunch of elves left him where the baby should have been, and then they just raised him for eternity. All right. This is bullshit. So I started trying to impress my grandma because I got sick and tired of being, I don't know, confused for an ugly man in the family. So I started dressing nice. And I came in one day and she was like, "Hey, Eustace." And I was like, "No, Grandma, it is your grandson, Winston." And she goes, "No, you're not my grandson, Winston. Winston is handsome." And I'm like, "I will let you die in here. Do you not understand? Like, what? Do you not get what's happening right now? Like, I will never come see you again if you keep hurting my feelings." All right. I don't know. I've had to look up like online. I don't know, because I'm genetically predisposed to getting this now. Like my grandfather passed away from it. My grandmother has it. There's a lot of memory issues on my mother's side of the family, and so I looked up what can cause dementia. And apparently, one of the causes of dementia is just gum disease. You can just get dementia from not brushing your teeth. Which I want to know, why are dentists burying the lead? Why has this never come up one time at any dental visit? One time at all? It's like there's a much better chance of getting me to floss if you were like, "Hey, you will never remember anything again," as opposed to, "Oh, you might bleed a little bit." Like, okay, I'm just gonna bleed. Keep shoving food in there. That's what we're gonna do. I think I'm super close to 5 minutes, and I don't want to go over it all. So that'll be my time for some of the confusion stuff I did. Thank you.
Good job. Oh man, you had like, not only was that funny, but you like very informative too. I like to learn things.
Yeah. Knowledge is power.
Because knowing is half the battle. Here's the thing, like I'm trying. I'm not gonna say anything, but like I see potential to be like clean and dirty for your joke. So when you said the kiss by a black person line from your grandma, I feel like you can do like, you can add to that, like kissed, like blank by a black, you know what I mean? Like you can kind of like, depending on where you want to go, you can kind of make it a little more perverse, or you can change the ethnicities. You can, I don't know, like whatever you're comfortable with, of course. With your joke about the grandma, like, "I'll wash my pussy when I don't want to." I feel like there's like you're afraid of her taking a shit joke there. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
because I think of number 2 for some reason.
Okay. I'm mostly just afraid of the pussy. That's part of it. most of my fear is vagina adjacent.
I get it. I have a 7-minute story, and it's a joke, but it's a story about how I used towels and my grandma used to wipe hers.
Brutal.
And, I didn't realize it, and what disturbed me more is the fact that she said the word pussy. That was the most disturbing thing ever.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I hear your pain.
Right.
You said, was it she might not? Oh yeah, but you said she has Alzheimer's. I feel like, I don't know, my mind's. I'm gonna blame the caffeine on this one. It's just like when you're wiping her, it's like there might be a time where she actually forgets that you're related, and she might enjoy it because she, like, is it incest? If you don't know, if you legit can't remember your family, you know what I mean? I don't know. Throw that away if you want. I'm just writing things.
No, I appreciate everything that's thrown at me. I appreciate
Yeah.
all. Even if it's not my style, it's nice to hear a different like, take, because it's, yeah.
I made the PSA earlier that I want to say, I always say things that are probably controversial. Okay, so here's something that might be your style. So, a joke that I used to do. It's I love performing in front of people with Alzheimer's because I can do 5 minutes in an hour.
Okay, yeah,
something like that. You know what I mean? That's way more cleaner. I try to be, catered to that, but yeah, that's all I got, and it's probably for the best. So yeah, once again, good job.
Cool, thanks, man.
I'll take the one.
Yeah, maybe even when you're wiping her, that's when she recognizes you as a different family member.
Oh, that's an interesting way to take it. Yeah,
to combine those, because I did find it interesting of her like thinking you're someone else, but I would like more details about, like, you just kind of say "fuck you" to her. It's like, okay, why? Who did she? And what are the details about that guy that she misinterpreted you as? that makes you offended, like more
Okay.
details around that. Or if maybe it's not even her brother, maybe it's like a sister or like something absurd, you could get absurd with it. But like it was more, I would like more details about what he looks like versus like what you look like, of like, I don't have an ugly haircut like that.
Okay.
Then it's like, oh, and then maybe something like that, I'm not saying you have an ugly haircut, but I was trying to think of things that you look like that maybe you're not self-aware of, that then you could play on the person that she misinterpreted you as,
What if it's like the family dog, the childhood dog she had?
Okay.
Or
Yeah, maybe something absurd. Yeah.
or if it's like I don't have button chops. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm kind of
Yeah.
like old timey.
Yeah, I'll work on more details about that guy then.
Because every detail could end up being a punchline,
Okay.
That's a really good insight.
I
And
feel
the only
like
thing I had was the voices. Like you do. I'm sorry, Tim.
Oh,
I was just
go
gonna
ahead.
say real
Go ahead.
Quick, like just the only other thing was like you do act outs of like your mom and your grandmother, but the more you commit to their voices, I think the funnier it could be.
Okay.
You really doing their voices and not kind of like a half Winston voice, half grandma
Yeah, I've
voice.
never been a voice guy, but that is something I should probably look into. I've never done that before, but I will make that note down to try doing more of an impression of them.
Like
Wait,
even if
wait.
you can't, if you're bad at it, but like you try, it's still funny. You know what I mean? Because like
Mhm.
it's the awkwardness of you trying to be the voice and you literally can't, but people see that.
Cool.
I feel like I kind of related the pussy thing to that song, Wet Ass Pussy, the WAP song.
Okay.
I don't know. That's the connection. Because it's like washing the pussy in the wet ass pussy.
Oh, if you were singing it while doing it,
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
bro. Clyde did not. He didn't like that one. He was like too far.
I'm just 7 days a week, certified. I'm just imagining him singing that. Like that's where that pussy comes.
Funny.
Like it's a lot, but I get it. I'm with it. I'm looking forward to hearing your rendition at this point, Winston. I feel like you might even go triple platinum. I mean, if you have a video to go with it, you might actually get recognized at AVN.
Very funny.
7 days a week, certified. I'm sorry. I'm just, now I can't not think of you with the grandma singing the song. I can't.
I'm not hip. I don't know that song.
Well, so Scott, there's a song that's been making the rounds in the last couple months. It's called WAP, W-A-P. W-A-P stands for Wet Ass Pussy. It is by Cardi B and what's the other lady's name? Tim, sure you know.
I don't remember.
All right. So anyway, these two ladies made a song and a video about wet ass pussy, and people got their wet ass pussies a little dry behind it, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
Just Google wet ass pussy, and
good.
make sure your parental filters are on, and you won't like get sucked into a black hole.
Yeah, probably don't image search it. It's
Yeah,
like
we don't need to talk about my parental filters. We don't have enough time for that. So Tim, you are up next. Are you okay with the spotlight?
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. I'm sorry. I have one thing for Winston. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Winston. Okay, so my mom has Alzheimer's. So as a result, I've been thinking about talking about some things, but I think your joke is way better than anything I would come up with. So I'm gonna see if you can do something with this. So you ever had like a conversation with your grandma, or you ask her a question, and then a few minutes later you ask her the same question, get a different answer?
Oh,
and
yeah.
then so I feel like that is fodder for humor, like just to ask the questions and give like the new answers, because that is a terribly irresponsibly fun game to play. I'm sorry, like that's just me with my mom. I don't know how you are with the grandma, wet ass pussy aside.
Cool.
But yeah, that's just a thought I had for you.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's a funny concept. I can see that being a thing. Like, can I have money? No. Can I have money? Sure. Like something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, borrow the
Yeah.
car or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's definitely a good premise.
As long as
Tim,
I live, you will never. Hey, can I do it now? Oh yeah, sure.
Tim, are you okay for Spotlight?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I'm going to ask everybody now because I never realized. I guess that's a fair reason. Benson, a fair reason. I'm not picking on
Always
anybody.
ask. I ask for
Nice.
consent first before you
Yeah.
spotlight.
All right. So with the topic of birds, which I'm really excited to hear. Whenever you're ready, Tim.
Okay. So last week I was driving down the road to work and I saw an actual chicken cross the road. I didn't get the chance to stop and ask them why, but and then like 2 days later I'm driving down like a different road and I see like 3 turkeys crossing a road. I feel like they had a better reason than the chicken. I didn't ask them either, but I feel like they had a better reason to cross the road than the chicken. I guess now all I need is just see like a duck and a goose like cross the road. I'll hit like poultry road crossing bingo. I do have a lead on a peacock. Somebody told me where I could see a peacock cross the road, I guess, so I could do that. Yeah. Anybody here bird watch? Does anybody actually bird watch anymore? I feel like that's just you're just an avian pervert. You're just like watching birds in their house or whatever, because their house is just the woods. You're basically stalking birds. You're like watching them through their window, which isn't really a window, it's just nature. But you're like, and they're naked, obviously, because they're birds. Birds don't wear clothes, but yeah. I feel like bird watching is just a random weird. It's like slightly worse than scrapbooking. I feel like those two are like almost the same, but bird watching is slightly worse. I feel like your creepy uncle bird watches, and then like your like eccentric aunt scrapbooks, and that's like I'd rather hang out with my eccentric aunt than my creepy uncle. So, but I think right before I die, I'm going to take up a new hobby. I'm going to do blimp watching. That way I can die doing what I've never done in my entire life, watching blimps. I just want to get hit by a blimp when I die. Really, I feel like blimp watching is way easier than bird watching because there's only like 2 types of blimps. There's like the Hindenburg, which is just extinct, so you can just like cross that off. And then there's the Goodyear blimp, which you can just like go to any sporting event and just see the Goodyear blimp, I guess, and cross that off. So really the bird watching book or the blimp watching book is just me. It's just like a picture, like 2 pages. One has like a picture of the Hindenburg crossed out, and then right next to it, the Goodyear blimp you can kind of check off. You turn the page, and there's a picture of me flipping you off and telling you to get a better hobby. Yeah, but I don't know. I think I could become a blimp pilot. I feel like there's a demand for that. I don't know really a demand, but I feel like there's a vacuum I can fill being a blimp. Like maybe I'll work my way up. Like I'll learn how to fly a kite really well, and then I'll fly like a helicopter, and then like I'll fly a blimp. That's like the progression of my piloting career: kite, helicopter, blimp, and then maybe spaceship after that if I make it that long. But yeah, I think that's all I had on the subject of birds. Thanks, everybody.
Very, very funny stuff. Hang on, I'll take the spotlight off. I wrote a couple of things that were not as dark, which is probably a good thing. Their chicken crossed the road. I feel like there's an opportunity for a misdirect there. Like, why did like I don't know, saying like a chicken and drag. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Like a rooster and drag.
Yeah, like a chicken, like cross. Something there, something with the wording. I was also thinking like actual as an observational aspect. Like, what would it be like to be what would it be like as a bird that couldn't fly to see other birds fly? Like, I feel like those birds have identity crises. You know what I mean? Like, what am I? Because like you're seeing always like other species that you are. So I think there's something interesting there. I also find it funny that bird watching is okay, but people watching is creepy. Like, then I feel like you want to take it to the direction of like just like a perverted, like a pervert watching birds. Like, yeah, spread those wings. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, make that whatever perverts. I'm not going to. Yeah, just kind of like whatever perverted people do that aren't me.
Clean that
Yeah.
tail. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, bird bath. Right? Yeah, there you go. Bird bath. Like, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Get that. Get
That's
wet.
that's
yeah.
like the women's locker room of like bird perverts.
Yeah, I think there's a lot there with that whole concept. And then I didn't write too much on the blimp stuff. I just thought like blimp feels like the misfits of the avian, of the avian devices. Like people there's helicopters, freaking planes. No one ever says like fat as a helicopter, like fat as a blimp. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's like the reject of the avian prototypes, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's all I got. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's like he basically just a better version of everything I was thinking of. It's like if you're you're watching birds, but then somebody from the neighborhood watch just tries to catch you and turn you in. It's like, what are you doing? What are you? No, I see you. I see it anyway. And then they want to call you a peeping Tom the cat or something. I don't know, peeping Tom and Jerry. I don't know, something like that. Again, maybe you'll think of something cool out of this nonsense I've just spouted.
Maybe the bird is in their house. So maybe it's like their pet parakeet that you're like ended up looking through their window.
Yes.
Ooh, there you
See, Joel.
See?
Joel.
We're in this together,
There you
Clyde.
go.
Alley
you
oop
go.
there, my friend.
Skadoosh. I'm sorry. There you go. No.
Yeah, just
No, he did that earlier. And I laughed because all I could think of was how this one of my cousin's kids, he didn't know what dabbing was. So when I did that, I was showing him the dab. He thought it was like the fusion dance from Dragon Ball Z. He tried to do the fusion dance with me. So I just started thinking about this. Yeah, he was like, oh, come on. It's like, no.
I just find it weird that like polite sneezing became a style, It's like sneezing on your arm. And that all of a sudden became like a thing people do. Back to birds. Sorry, Tim.
I love it.
Everybody else with feedback?
Yeah, I don't know anything about birds, but you piqued my interest when you started talking about blimps. I think blimps are just incredibly fascinating. So these are just a few things that I just know about blimps that you maybe. There's only 25 blimps in the world. So there's only 25 blimps in existence, and only half of them are operable. I think it's true. Only like 12 or 13 of them work, and Goodyear owns like 3 of them. I think that like the crazy thing about blimps is in no way, shape, or form is it a good form of travel. So it's like because it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, okay, a blimp, you're a giant balloon. Is it fast? No, it's not fast. Okay, well, is it easy? No, there's only like 10. It's like, oh, okay, well, is it safe? Not really. It's not a very safe form. There's like a lot of things where it's just nothing positive about it at all. Like so I think there's a lot with blimps that a lot of people don't know that I only discovered through a Wikipedia deep dive one time when I was like incredibly bored.
See, this is one of the things that I really appreciate about comedians, because almost any comedian that I've talked to or dealt with, they have a unique set of knowledge about some stuff that most people just don't know. And Winston just happened to know everything you could want to know about blimps. He knows what state they're in. He knows what countries have them. He knows which ones have the cleanest restrooms. Winston is on top of things, and I dig this. And I know it sounds like I'm being facetious, but I'm so serious. I know some of y'all have to have experienced this before.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's like comedians are amazing people, and I feel like they don't get the respect they deserve in society or in the bedroom.
Yeah, it literally started because I Googled how many Goodyear blimps are there. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to read this for 6 hours.
With that being like, that's a great. Yeah, no, I just realized you made me because so you said there's only 10 of them that are operable or something
It's
like
like
that?
25, and they say like half are operable, so it's like 12 or 13 that work, and there's like the other 12 are like either decommissioned or something. I don't know.
Okay, my question is, why like the people that still advertise with them? Like, there's not many. Like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that like billboards is cheaper than blimps? I feel like I don't know. I just think that's a funny concept. Like, people use to advertise as blimps.
So it's the only reason Goodyear still does it is because the word Goodyear is like synonymous with blimps.
Yeah.
You would only care about the Goodyear blimp if it was not around anymore. Is the only reason
But like,
that they still have it.
it's not always a good thing to be synonymous with. I feel like you make examples of like, I can't think of it on the top of my head right now, but yeah, no, I think it's a lot you can do with that information for sure. Good stuff again on birds and bonus blimps with Tim Miller. Next, we got Joel Byers with the topic of citizens. I'm going to put that up there. Did you want a spotlight, Joel?
Sure.
Okay. Give me a second. And let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. So, citizens had me thinking about me as a citizen and where I come from. And I come from a small town in northern Georgia called Somerville. And it's basically like a Mayberry with meth. Like, teeth are a delicacy where I come from. And growing up, I had buck teeth. Like, I had teeth like Forrest Gump. Like, they just kept running and running and running away from each other. My teeth really were like a box of chocolate. You just never knew what you were going to get. But luckily, so like I had buck teeth. I talk like this. But luckily, my mom traversed 2 divorces for me to become this socially acceptable white man you are seeing today. Yeah, she got divorced once so I could have braces. And then the second divorce was for me to go to private school, where I actually ended up going on a minority scholarship. They needed some honkies to mix it up with all the crackers that were going there, because there's shades to this white thing. I don't know if y'all know. But while everyone was, I felt like a fish out of water with all these uppity citizens, all these like these rich whites. It was culture shock. Like, they're all in there wearing Ralph Lauren. I'm in here in Eddie Bauer. Like, yeah, this is the redneck Ralph Lauren here, y'all. But they didn't have locks on their lockers. That really shows just how like rich people are. They didn't have locks on their lockers. I think rich people are just like, no, we don't rob each other. No, we rob societies. The biggest culture shock was when I went to visit a friend's house and they had an in-ground pool. I had never seen a pool in the ground before. The fanciest pool I saw had a deck around it, and that was the public pool in Somerville. But I just remember showing up and just thinking, like, why does their pond have a diving board? Well, y'all pond ain't got no fish in it. Yeah, it was culture shock for sure. But in thinking of also of citizens, I was thinking about how we're being poisoned. And we're the biggest poison out there now is sugar. Sugar is definitely the most publicly accepted drug. Like, and sugar is a drug. I don't care what you say. I have eaten cake so good that I start dancing. Okay. Only a drug can make you dance after taking it. Okay. I've never eaten pancakes and then, well, there's sugar there. That was a whack example anyway. But it definitely is. And sugar is the real white devil, in my opinion. It's the only ingredient on a nutrition label that it doesn't show the percentage of your daily value you're getting from that. So, I mean, talk about white privilege. Goodness. And my favorite sugary eats is a cereal. Oh my gosh, cereal. I don't even, because cereal averages like 20 grams of sugar per serving. Like Frosted Flakes, I don't think it's Tony the Tiger. I think those are track marks from him fiending for sugar. That's why he's so cracked out when he's like, they're great. He's fiending. He's like, he has a scarf to cover all the scratch marks on his neck. And I was also, speaking of sugar, I was a Husky kid growing up. I was definitely husky, which is fat shaming for teen boys. That's how they would fat shame teen boys, is naming us after husky sled dogs, because that's how I would sound panting down the hallway, just husky, husky. Yeah, that's how I wish we had woke culture when I was in middle school. I'd be like, no, I'm not husky, okay? I'm slender fluid, okay?
Yes.
Get it together.
Yes.
And yeah, I'll land it there. Thanks, guys.
Good stuff. Oh, it's hard to produce and host at the same time. Hang on. All right, here's a solo and good stuff. Oh man, okay. So here's a few things I was thinking of. First of all, when you said Mayberry on meth, I wanted so many more examples, like references, kind of thing. Like instead of the town drunk, you had the town crackhead or something like that. I just feel like there's a lot you can play with there. You didn't say anything about this, but I just thought of it, and like I didn't want to like touch on it, but like it's funny how there's like there's senior citizens, but there's no youth citizens, something like that. I was thinking that was an interesting concept. I love the Forrest Gump jokes. I thought that like the teeth line. I feel like with movies especially that are very popular, you can put tags like 2 or 3. I can't think of any top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
You said like Run Forrest Run. You said a few things, but I don't know. I like tags. I can't help it. Not sure how comfortable you are with certain like topics, but when you're talking about when your mom divorced, you got braces, and then you went. I like the idea of every time your mom has a divorce, it progresses your life. Like you get braces, you get to go to school. Like it's the exact opposite of what divorce is.
So yeah, her life gets worse.
Your life gets so much better. Like I mean, in terms of like medical stuff and education or whatever you want to do with it. I'm not sure if he does on purpose or not, but when you're talking about crackers and you're talking about rich people, and I was thinking of Ritz crackers.
Oh, I did have that. I had that here, and I missed it as I was trying to read it. Yeah.
Okay, because I was like that because there's like definitely a play on word there.
Yeah, for sure.
Sugar is a drug, and I was hoping you make cocaine references. I don't know if you did or not, but like the comparison because it's white powder, white crystals, or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the white privilege line was about, like sugar being white privilege. I think that was like that really took me a second to like soak in. Like, oh, fuck, that was funny. I was hoping you, and I know I'm not. It is a burnt premise, but I feel like you can take your own spin on it. But like the words, just like talking about cereal and how it's like people, it's so dangerous. There could be a serial killer reference, not towards like the typical jokes, but like something to touch on. And you're talking about the mascots who are like all hopped up, and there's so many. I feel like you can reference like the Trix Bunny, Toucan Sam, Lucky. You know what I mean? Like, and that's one of those jokes where it's like it's nostalgia, so people would just love just to hear the references too. I can't think of anything like to add or examples, but that's what I was thinking of. Just because like fuck, I'm a kid now. I want to hear more. Like, yeah, I totally can relate to that, or yeah, that totally was the case. But yeah, that's all I can write. Nice. My sugar rush came out there.
Thanks.
So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I really like the visual of I think the best part of for me of the cake and like sugar being like a drug is it's such a perfect visual of you've had cake that has made you dance. Like that's a perfect example of like it's not too heavy-handed that it's drugs. It's not a super common reference, but anyone that's ever been a sugar fiend gets like when you have that. Dude, I've had cake that has made me get up and dance, and it's the only time I've moved that entire day. like that is it. It's like so it's such a great line. I really enjoyed that visual, and slender fluid's a great line. Like that's just such a perfect line without punching down at all. You do it's a great, I don't know. I didn't see that coming, and I usually feel like I see references like that coming, and that was really great. So those are the two things that stuck out the most to me that I just really enjoyed and felt like there's and you do a great job of painting a picture of growing up in a rural area. I'm someone that grew up in a pretty rural area in Virginia, so like hearing it's like, yeah, I totally get those areas at all. And even though you said Georgia, I could picture people just like that. So you paint a really good picture. So great job.
Very much so. Anybody else? There's some feedback, suggestions, comments, tags.
I really like the Mayberry line. I feel like for some reason Probably made me think of like a Wire / Andy Griffith crossover. I don't know. And I feel like you could do like more than just like you talked about different shades of white. You could do like maybe do a list of them. Like you'd go from like honky to cracker. I don't know, other versions of like white people.
Oh yeah, like the Ritz, and then like a poor. What would be like a poor cracker, like a saltine or?
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like yeah.
a rice cake.
Or rice cake. That's silly. Yeah, comparing it. Yeah.
I just thought of something. I don't know if it's a date or not, but like, if you did like a CSI Mayberry thing, would that be CSI Miami, CSI New York, CSI Mayberry? I just feel like I don't know. That's the thing. I'm dated though, so I don't know if CSI is still a thing or like some sort of common show within Mayberry.
Or like a Law and Order Mayberry, or I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's very funny.
NCIS Mayberry.
Yeah, so I just didn't. I don't watch TV as much. So
Yeah.
I'm not current. I didn't know what WAP was. So, Clyde, or do you want to add anything to that?
I just want to say foul to Winston. It's dirty pool. He said everything I was going to say, so I don't appreciate it. Not one bit.
Okay, fair. But how about next time you could be the first to get feedback, and that way Winston cannot appreciate you for taking his feedback. You know,
Ooh.
yeah, do a little rotation. You know, keep it fair. It's
You ain't not my mama, Scott.
I only worry like one. We don't have a talking stick here. I'm sorry. We do have a comment though. We do have a comment. By the way, quick little insert for everybody watching. If you want your comments to be read, which they will be, but like if you don't want them not to be anonymous, you have to accept StreamYard as your Lord and Savior. Because for some reason, it will put you as anonymous. It'll put you as this. So you gotta click on the link. But if I know who it is, this is EJ. I just let you know. But EJ Masacampo, who is a regular at the workshop here. For the podcast possible listeners, I don't know if it's going to be one or not. Sugar is a real white devil. I walked in on these guys doing lines at their party. I was like, "What's that?" They were like, "It's cocaine," and I was like, "Oh, thank God." That is funny. I feel like there's a devil went down in Georgia joke there too somewhere. The white devil went down in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, EJ. You are the first to do the comments on Facebook, so you are winning right now.
EJ.
Yes. Awesome. If anybody has anything else to add, or we'll go on to Clyde. Okay. Great set again. Joel, thank you very much. So, Clyde, what was your topic again? Give me a second. It was, interesting.
Can I just make something up now? Is that cool? Any objections?
Hang on. Let me get it ready. Let me set it for the viewing public. So, yes, Clyde's topic is objections. And do you want a spotlight or no?
I can't think of anything better than looking at my face. So
Nice.
Someone has self-esteem issues here. All right, Clyde, whenever you're ready to go, you let me know.
Yeah, so my topic is objections. I object to being objectified in this spotlight. However, because I have no problems with self-esteem, I'm gonna go with it. So usually I don't have objections to things. I have objections to people. Yeah, like there are certain groups of people I just object to. Like I object to people that like to cook. You know, because people that like to cook, they always want to tell you about the food that they made. Somehow they have to talk about it. They have to tell you. Like they want to tell you what they put in it, where they got it, what time of year. Oh, well, you know, the secret to my salmon is rosemary. Forget that. Is the shit good? That's the only thing you got to is it good? That's all I want to know. They want to tell you where they got the recipe. Well, you know, my grandfather, he was stationed in Italy back in the war. It's like, forget that. Is the shit good? They want to tell you how it's different. It's like, okay, well, I substituted brown sugar for white sugar instead. I don't care. Is the shit good? They want to tell you all kind of stuff about the food before they started cooking it. Well, the cow was massaged for 40 years. I don't want no 40-year-old meat. Neither did my wife. She found herself 2 20-year-old sausages. I object. Okay? I object. You know, if I were starving and you cooked a plate of food that could save my life, but the only caveat, the only condition that I eat this food, this life-saving food, is that I have to listen to you talk about the food before or whilst I eat it, I will thank the Most High for the precious time that He has given me on this planet. I'm going to take that plate of food and I'm going to shove it up your ass. And then I might possibly chop you up, massage you for 30 minutes, and talk about how I've substituted brown sugar for white sugar before I eat you. Okay? Stupidness. It's ridiculous. I don't understand. Like, they want to tell you everything about the food. Why? Why they want to tell you? They want to tell you the blood type, the love language, the preferred method of birth control. I don't. It's none of my business. That's none of my business. You know? I mean, this is like, if the shit is bad, then let me hear your excuses. If it's bad, as long as you're gonna take that shit back and fix it. Okay? Oh, say, I'm so sorry. Okay, fine. Somebody serving you food and then trying to tell you why their food is better. That's just like if you're on a date and the date's gone really well. All right, and you're just about to get the nana. Like, the nana is right there for you. She's serving up the nana for you. The nana is right there. And then all of a sudden, her mom pops out. It's like, well, the reason why my daughter's nana is so great is because, while I was pregnant with her, I had lots to say. Father Malcolm blessed her. It's like, shut up. I don't want to hear that shit. Just get in my mouth. I don't want to hear about how good the nana is. Just get in my mouth. That's all I'm saying. That's really all I'm thinking. That's it. That's I object. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Oh man. Woo. Clyde, great job, man. I only wrote a little bit of things because I didn't know what to put in. I put down I put down swiping is like the modern day objecting. Like, no, I object to this. I feel like that could be a thing. I was hoping you make the 40-year-old meat joke that you did. I was like, good. A quick question: were you trying to sound like a lawyer the whole time? Because I feel like no further questions is the next statement you're going to say. Yeah, I couldn't add too much. Yeah, also you'd be like the worst surgeon. Like, he actually has this. I don't care. Is he healthy or not? I don't fucking care.
Okay. All right.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't think of much more things to add because you just kept on going and it's hard to keep up. You have a lot of good energy, but that's that's all I got.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Scott.
I inject to that.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, great personality and so much conviction behind what you were saying. The two things that popped into my head: one, the nana, and then the mom telling you about why the nana is so good. I could see you going like, nah, I just want to eat it. Like,
okay.
like you using nana, but in a different context there could be funny with the act out. And then out of all the things you were talking about, you object, like the people that cook, part of, you said love language in there. And that like stuck to me as like the premise being you knowing someone whose food is their love language or something. I don't know. I think the only thing I was struggling to connect with is that there wasn't like a personal attachment. You were more of just like, these people that like food, this is how I feel about them. But like, I feel like I would connect with it more if you gave us like a personal example of someone in your life who's obsessed with food, and you take us to a moment, whether it's at Thanksgiving and they're trying to describe everything and you just want to eat it or whatnot, like just something a little more like personal to you. I feel like I would have connected with more because you had a lot of great writing, a lot of great examples. But I think a part of, like, as we were saying, like Scott said, trying to keep up is like we just weren't connected to what you were saying as much as if it were like a more personal example. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Because there's a lot of great writing in there. You could just personalize and then boom, now we're connecting with it a lot more.
Right. Okay.
I agreed. I did not object to that. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Anybody else to add to that?
why I really like the energy. I feel like with the mom, I feel like you'd also maybe add in the dad or replace it with the dad. Maybe try to work with that and do the dad too, like he made the baby too. And I don't know if that would be better or.
That's too many cooks in the kitchen. No, I'm playing. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I think I could work with that. Yeah.
Awesome. Winston?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. You definitely. I mean, people have already said you've got good energy. It was a good performance. It was just super fast, and in a note taking situation, it's tough when someone's delivery is that fast to be like able to take good notes on it, because I was trying to do whatever. So the few things that I did take was the turn of the mother showing up like before sex or whatever. That's great. That's in my opinion the best part of the entire thing. Like that's such a good joke that stands on its own anyway, because this is the type of thing where it's like I'm sick and tired of people telling me like where all these food comes from, blah blah blah. That's like if I'm going to hook up with somebody, boom, like you don't need the 4 minutes of the other joke. That joke works on its own. So that's like a cool like starting point if you wanted to just use it in a quick 5-minute set and not have to do 5 minutes on that whole topic. But yeah, I was trying to keep a bunch of notes, but I enjoyed it. Great energy, great performance. But that part at the end where the mom shows up and just like, well, I actually made this, blah blah blah, and you're like, that was gold. That was great. That was my favorite part of the bit for sure. Really
yeah, and I think it's because it was like a personal scene of like you with your girlfriend and then this event happening with it. Like, I agree.
Awesome.
And then the grandma pops up after no.
Yeah, and then you wash your pussy. That's what you do. Your grandmother's pussy.
All right, I think I'm done.
Right
Thank
now.
y'all so much. This was so much fun. I've got to go now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no,
y'all are fantastic. I just have to say that.
great stuff for sure. It's only the first round, guys. Hopefully, Clyde sticks around. I can never tell if he's kidding or not because he's got a good poker face. All right, we want to change the tempo a little bit. This is something I never had before. I didn't realize we actually are streaming on Twitch, which is awesome. We got a comment. It's a little personal, but I'm totally for it. So it's sup guys, loving the stream. I was wondering if you could give a shout out to my friend Jeffrey. He's having a super hard time and just got out of the psych ward for a suicide attempt because of the stress caused when he left his Hasidic Jewish sect, if I said that wrong. Unfortunately, his family excommunicated him. But anyway, he really loves comedy, and he would really appreciate if you guys give him a shout out. We're trying to get a video together of people saying stuff for him to cheer him up and show love. Wasn't sure supposed to read all that out, but anyways, hey Jeffrey, thank you so much, and hopefully things get better for you. It's tough for a lot of us, and just keep on, man. It's I don't know what to say. Sorry, I'm not the best motivational speaker, but I we legit hope you do well. And yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying this. With that being said, guys, I'm such a sellout. I have an ad. I don't have a sponsor. I have an ad for the show called Turbo Comedy that we run Mondays, except last Monday because it was an Easter thing. But normally we're organized. We have a Turbo Comedy Mondays, and I'm going to run a quick ad for you. So give this a check out, and we'll be back in about 30 seconds to start the second round.
This is The Workshop, and welcome to Turbo Plan, where 8 comedians from The Workshop compete to see who can write the best short set in a short time. We then vote to send our favorite comedian to the final round. Comedians will have to work quickly to put together comedy bits, as each comedian only has 1 hour to write about a randomly assigned topic. They then have to perform their 3-minute set for the group. Once everyone's performed, we'll all vote online for our favorite comic. At the end of the tournament, we'll crown a winner, and whoever has the most votes will win a whopping $20. Get ready, it's time for Turbo Comedy.
That's an awesome ad that I am jealous that I don't have the ability to make.
Wow.
Yeah, super exciting. Clyde's in that. I'm hoping you dab. Okay, let's do.
Object.
Well played, sir. Well played. Let's do the second part, which is what I call dealer's choice. By that I mean because we're going to get high. No, it's because we choose whatever we want. We pick the material we want to work on, and yeah, like I said earlier, I've written a lot of material in the last many years. This is almost a year old, by the way. I just want to say April 24th to make this a year old.
Wow.
But I have a lot of material to sift through. I wasn't prepared, so I just took a random topic that I wanted to write about. And so this was my topic that I chose to read. Here we go. Decorations. So I never understood the concept of decorations. Like, how come every time my friend hangs something on a tree, it's an ornament, but whenever I hang something on a tree, it's attempted suicide? Um,
Hmm.
I don't think companies should make anything human shaped for a decoration, because it's really hard not to send the wrong message. Like, whether you hang it by the little string attached to its uh, uh, head, or you hang it upside down, which is even creepier, or you put a tack over its head, it just comes off like a little dextery. Like, it would just be a matter of time before you saran wrapped your decorations to a table and hung pictures of everyone ever wronged. Uh, like, I'm not opposed to having holiday spirit, but for some, it's like the biggest kick in the dick. Like take Christmas. You got the mistletoe. Well, unless you're in a relationship or very good with your friends, or opposed to the Me Too movement, that's not really going to apply to you. Like Valentine's Day is everything is hearts and chocolates, but what happens when no one loves you and you're diabetic? Like to me, decorations are the cock block of trying to forget reality for that time period. Like I like to be able to celebrate my own holiday, not birthday, holiday. Like we can even make a tradition of it. Like every, I don't know, April 6th, we can decorate for my holiday by doing things like putting money on a tree and letting it on fire, right? Or go to a small party and disappear 5 minutes after you arrive because you feel uncomfortable, right? Or opening presents on other people's porches. Like, oh, Amazon, you shouldn't have. Like go door to door and sing Scott carols. Like, but I'm a creep. So won't you let me know I'm a loser, baby? Right? Like, or my favorite. Is my sound off? I feel like it's going off right now. Bitch better have my money. All right. Like, oh, and man, my holiday would have like the best greeting cards, like sorry, Happy Scott's Day. Or it could be worse. You could be me. Happy Scott's Day. Or this one's actually a little close to home. I got mold under cabinet because I didn't know onions rotted. Happy Scott's Day. And that's, I don't know if my sound went off or not, but that is my set.
Woo.
Woo-woo.
Thank you. Any comments?
It could be worse. You could be me. I almost feel like these examples you're giving, like it could be like a get well soon card.
Oh yeah.
So that was just the example that came to mind of like, it could be worse. You could be me. That's like your version of a get well soon card. It's almost just like giving like a grounded real world example of something people do, and then just giving the Scott version of it. I think that could be just kind of like set up punch, set up punch, set up punch,
Right. Like a list almost.
Yeah. The only one that came to mind was the get well soon card, but I could see that applying to others.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So add more to the like the world's perspective and then my perspective on it, or something like that.
Yeah, like your version of it. Yeah.
Right.
The Scottified version. Yeah. Scottified.
That sounds like the worst streaming service.
Scottified.
It's just creep over and over again.
Yeah, because I did like that. Did you say creep? You were doing like a Scott carol. What was
Scott carols? Yeah, it was. So it was like Beck, I'm a loser, baby. Creep, and then I said, bitch, better have my money, because I wanted to do the misdirect or whatever. But yeah, just kind of like songs. Thing is, I'm noticing a lot too with my material is because I guess I'm a little darker, but not so much dark, but like I'm a lot self-deprecating. So I'm trying not to go. Basically, I want to go haha, not aw, and there's a very thin line between that, and that's sort of my style. Like I just who I am, so I gotta like find ways I'm not going to. That's why I wanted to do like the bitch better have my money kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just like, where are you doing this carol? Like when you go Christmas caroling, you play the favorites, and then you have those three examples. Or instead of a birthday song, it's you do those like those songs. I don't know. I'm just thinking, again of like, I guess I was trying to tie it again to like, where are you doing this to where kind of give it a little more context than just, I do this, 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 and this. It's like, well, where are
Right.
you when you're doing this? Who are you doing it for?
It's
Maybe
door
a
to
little-
door. That's what I was trying to think. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like you just go to people's houses or stuff and just like
Yeah,
carol.
like caroling.
Like caroling. Yeah.
I feel like that could be more clear.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
But it could be as simple as at Christmas time, you go Scott caroling and then you do those. Like just a little bit more detail, I think, could make it a little more clear of exactly what you were trying to say.
Right. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Because I know I that's the thing too. Like it's when I write, it's hard for me because like it's I don't know how to put this into words, but like what I think, I assume people already know. If that makes any sense.
Mhm.
So I skip a lot without realizing like, oh, people can't read my fucking mind. So I didn't elaborate a little bit. And at the same time, I don't want to like I don't want to like come off like I'm dumbing down, like not dumbing down, but like I don't want to come off like I'm being patronizing or like what's the word I'm looking for? Not patronizing, but so I went to the, you know what I mean? Like
Condescending.
condescending. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you just got to spoon feed it, and you can always take away as well. So it's like it's finding that middle ground between not having enough and then having too much, and finding
Right.
that middle ground of the sweet spot.
Okay. All right. For sure.
Just
Thank
an
you.
opinion, though.
No, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I
Now my
it's definitely-
self-deprecation comes in.
appreciate that. Anybody else? Okay, there's no pressure, by the way. If you have no feedback, it's fine. I cry about it later, but whatever. You guys don't know about that. All right. So did I put myself on the spotlight? I don't know if I did or not. Anyways, Winston, now on spotlight.
Yes, no spotlight, please.
I respect your boundaries. Whenever you're ready, you just get going and we'll time you.
Cool, super fun. Yeah, we'll try the new stuff that I've been working on the last couple of days. Every woman that I've ever dated has been the type of woman that likes to change who they're dating. It's always like either you need a new wardrobe, you need a new job. Winston, you got to get in better shape. So that's why I've just started exclusively dating woke women. Yeah, because it's a lot easier when the only thing a woman wants to change about me is my language. It's like I feel like that's the thing that I can handle. Okay, it's just like, all right, Winston. My ex is like, do you want to spend $2,000 on this new wardrobe, or I just quit doing Asian voice at dinner? I'm just gonna quit doing Asian voice. I feel like that's a better deal. This lady told me if I quit doing Asian voice, she will love me for a long time. So I'm just gonna make sure that I do that. I think it's gonna be a thing that I do. It's just two different types of women out there. You got the women that want you to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to spin class, and you've just got the women that want you to quit calling it gay. So that's who I want. I want that woman, the woman that looks at me and is like, this is a project. All right. This is a verbal project that we want to do. I grew up in a pretty religious conservative household. So I'm used to like conservative religious people blowing different forms of media out of proportion. Like I remember when the Harry Potter books came out and everybody at my church was like, Harry Potter's the devil. Oh my God, we've got to burn all these Harry Potter books. And then J.K. Rowling came out and was transphobic and they were like, oh, she's one of us. So never mind. Just kidding, guys. But I'm always used to that, man. Whatever the new movie or the new song or the new thing comes out, it's just people overreacting and blowing it out of proportion. And then I watched the new Lil Nas X music video, and it's just exactly how they described it. That was not blown out of proportion at all. Okay. My religious aunt called me and was like, Winston, have you seen the new Lil Nas X music video? And I was like, no. Aunt Cindy, tell me about it. She goes, well, he has sex with a serpent. He takes a goddamn stripper pole all the way to hell, and then he gives the devil a lap dance. And I was like, oh, okay, sure he does. And then I watched it, and he does. That's actually exactly what he does. He doesn't stray from that at all. If anything, she made it sound less sinful. It is insane to watch. It was just weird that like what she was upset about though. She was like, can you believe he kisses a man in that music video? I was like, yeah, that man is also the devil. So let's get our priorities in order about what we're upset about. I think that it's like, would you have been more? Would you have felt better about it if the devil had been a woman? Which she is. The devil is a woman. I don't know if anyone ever told you guys that. That's just what I'm trying to spread around. It's actually a pretty progressive take. All right, the devil's a woman because God is a woman. So you have to remember that's exactly what it is. Plus, I don't know. The devil does have to be a woman, right? It's just like the queen of temptation, a bunch of color coordinated outfits, punishing a man for all eternity for something he did in his past. Like, yeah, that tracks in the Bible. Tracks a little bit. I'm doing live shows again. I was doing a live show the other day because I'm half vaccinated and I don't really care if I die. It's fun because I'm in DC, so like they're trying to be as safe as possible indoors. So that just means that they're like trying to be open air, which means that the last show I was at, they just had no doors to the bathrooms. They had taken all the doors to the bathrooms off, so you could just see people using the urinal. The entire showroom could just see 3 dudes taking a piss, and I thought it was weird. And it's so weird that like I'm in there, and this other guy looks at me and he goes, "Isn't this crazy? Can you believe this? I came in here. I'm like, where's the door?" And I'm like, "Yeah, this is crazy. Why the fuck are you talking to me? We were in the bath. Like, this is way weirder." It's like, yeah, those 3 people can see the back of our heads. I'm holding my dick while you and I make direct eye contact, and I have issues with that. Oh my god, let's see if I can fit this in less than a minute. I think Jackie Chan is probably the most lovable actor of all time. Here's how lovable Jackie Chan is. All right, he said the N-word a bunch in Rush Hour, and nobody gave a shit. All right, that's how lovable he is. You're like, oh my god, he said the N-word in Rush Hour, and you're not even upset. You're just like, man, we should really watch that movie again. It's been so long since we've seen Rush Hour. That's what's crazy though. One of my friends was like, "But what's the context?" I'm like, "Okay, he comes into a black bar, calls everybody in there the N-word, beats the shit out of them, and then we were all like, as a nation, we need 2 more of these movies. Where are the sequels?" But that's it. There's more to that, but we're right at 5 minutes, and I don't want to take anybody else's time. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Good job. You're like so funny and so considerate. Like you could have went over it. It would have been no issue. But the fact that you want to take, you're a sweet man, Winston.
No, we've been here a while. Everybody's great. I'm having fun. I didn't want to be like the guy that's like, so let me do 2 more.
It happened. I mean, there's only 4 of us, but like totally appreciate it either way. Thank you so much for your consideration. I really like. Oh man, you had a lot of great stuff. I liked your woke woman dating thing.
Okay, cool.
The Asian joke was great. I don't know if you want to take anything with this. This is not dark. This is not dark, I promise. But she, like you said, you're like a project. Like you know, you date like I don't know how you phrased it, but pretty much you said like about being woke and you're a project. She looks at you like you're an IKEA shelf or like or furniture or something like that. But the reason why I said IKEA is like, but dating a woke woman would be hard to put to work with, like to put together IKEA furniture with, because they don't identify with the instructions. You know what I mean? Like a little play on words with the instructions or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm a word nerd. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine.
The devil is a woman joke. Fucking brilliant.
Okay, cool.
I don't have a joke, but like there's definitely a universal I don't say bomb, but like relatability with because I don't feel comfortable when people piss and talk to me with their dicks out. Like I don't understand people do that, but it's a thing, and I feel like that's definitely something that people can relate to. I'm sure, but yeah, there's not much I can say because it was so good. Good stuff.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, when you said you were a project, that made me think. An analogy could be you're like a fixer-upper boyfriend.
Okay.
Like a fixer-upper, and there may be some parallels you could draw between like a fixer-upper house and then a fixer-upper boyfriend and different things. Like if they want you to get a haircut, that could be like cutting the grass or mowing the lawn, or changing your clothes, changing the like decorating. I don't know, but that just seemed like maybe a clear analogy where there could be a lot of jokes. Yeah, the devil is a woman joke. That line killed. That's so good. And the other thing I had was with the Lil Nas X music video, it seemed like the joke was in her being surprised about him kissing a dude.
Yeah.
So it's like you could have her describing the music video to you and like all the different things that happen in it, like you said, but have her telling it to you. And then you could be like, I know, can you believe it? He kisses a man. She just lists all these absurd things
I like
that
that.
you expect her to be upset about. But then the actual punchline is that he kisses a man. So it
Oh.
builds up all that. And then the misdirect is actually all about him kissing the dude, not anything else.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely try that out. Thanks, dude.
He's going to hell.
Tim or Clyde?
I feel like I really like the misdirect with the Asian, like the "love you long time" line. I feel like you did a good misdirect with that.
Yeah, I tried
I
to
feel
like,
like-
is it clear that I'm saying she will love me for a long time and not doing it in Asian voice and doing it in
Yeah.
broken English. Okay.
And I feel like you did a good job of that.
That's what
Yeah.
I want to make clear is I don't want it to be like, oh yeah, the punchline is me doing something in broken English, but I want it to still have the rhythm of when I say she will love me for a long time, that everyone's like, okay, and he is referencing that fuck that. I got a note the other night that was like, you should say sucky sucky, and I was like, I'm not gonna say that at all.
I love that joke because you make us the racist by thinking it. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really
I'm trying
sense.
to do. So I'm trying to make you the racist. That's the goal.
And I feel like there's a connection you could make between like this set and the last set you did. Like the WAP, I feel like could be, because there was a lot of like controversy about that and people like upset about that song.
Okay.
So I don't know if that tie them together, maybe make it like a longer set or something.
Cool.
Like just talk about like music, like modern day songs and the controversial ones, kind of thing. Like a whole. Is that what you're implying? That's what I get from it. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Clyde.
Yeah, I first of all, I just want to say I'm glad somebody finally said it,
Your name?
and I won't give any further information on what I'm talking about.
The God is,
No,
that was a woman. Got it.
I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think of more examples for you for the way that you're because when you talked about how you'd rather not, you have a choice to be with a woman who wants you to get up and do Pilates or what a spin class in the morning, or you could be with a woman who just doesn't want you to want you to stop calling it gay or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking like more examples along those lines, but unfortunately I didn't come up with anything that I feel like would add to what you're doing.
Yeah, I need a third thing for it. Like this bit's so new, I do want like a third option for it. But I was like, I did the Asian voice with the stop Asian hate, and then obviously they want people to quit saying gay. But I'm just trying to think of a third one that's not either too offensive that it like makes it sound like, oh, I really do these things, or something that's like a strong enough punch to where it like makes sense to fit with it. So like the two, because I've only been doing this like this is like the third time I've done that joke.
Oh,
And
wow.
those two have worked okay, but I am trying to think of like a third reference of like something that's kind of problematic, but isn't like makes me the worst human being of all time. If the imaginary problematic thing that I'm
see,
doing.
and that's the problem. Like everything I thought of that might be useful, it makes you seem like a less good person. Like all the examples that you have, they're pretty innocuous. So it's like not that you're the problem. It's just Anyway, the point is, so like I couldn't think of anything that I feel like could be your third or go in there with you.
The third one I thought of, and I just feel like I've heard a lot of comics use a reference to it, is I thought about like she wants me to get better taste in music, and this one just wants me to quit singing rap music in the car. Like that's the thing. But I just feel like there's a lot of white comics that have the reference of just like, oh, white people saying all the words when they're in the car by themselves. So just trying to find something. But I'm glad I'm not the only one that sees that. So it lets me know that I do need to keep trying to think and find like a third thing for it. So I do appreciate that, Clyde.
Yeah, I mean, the only things I came up with that aren't horrible are not very good. But I'll say a couple of them because maybe they'll lead you to somewhere. Like, I could be a woman that doesn't want me to cheat on her, or I could be with the woman I have who just wants to make sure that I respect the one I cheated on her with. You know, something
I mean,
stupid
that's
like
bad.
that. It's not. It's like it's terrible, but
I do like that though, because my mind would have never gone to that. So I do like that. That's a good starting point.
So,
Well, I
well,
feel
yeah,
like there's a
as-
polyamory level with that connection.
Mm.
Oh yeah, one doesn't want me to cheat, and the other one just wants me to put a ring on the other woman's hand too, or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Doesn't want
Yeah,
to
something
cheat.
like something in dating is remembering anniversaries or remembering birthdays. There may be something they just
Oh,
want you to
yeah.
remember International Women's Day or something.
No, it'd be like, yeah, because I think a good example would be like, it's like you've got one option where it's like I have to remember every anniversary, every birthday, or this one where I just have to remember a pronoun, and it's like, all right, that's pretty easy. Just one pronoun, absolutely. I'll try that one. And I do like the
it's not
idea of
bad.
like the cheating on a woman and then respecting the one I cheat on her with. I do like that, so I'm gonna try to. I think that I'll with the 4 that I have, the 2 that I used, I think are good. So I'm just going to try to, I'll do this bit a few times and then put both of those in there and see which one works the best. So I do like that a lot. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, great input. I had nothing to contribute there because I am not woke enough or like, understand the perspective of woke people, but I respect them. Did anything else to add, or are we going to go with Tim?
Quit calling the gay is amazing. Just wanted to say that.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, great set.
Woo-woo.
Okay, Tim, get ready for Spotlight.
Okay.
Boom.
Boom.
Whenever you're ready, Tim, you let me know and I'll put the timer on.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, like, I'm glad that Trump is finally out of office, so I can quit seeing those fucking stupid Trump flags, Trump whatever. But not really for the reason you think. Not because of like the cultist connotations of it, but because Trump, like aesthetically speaking, like Trump is just like an ugly fucking word. Like it's just it just doesn't look good. At like no word that ends in ump is like a good looking word. Like hump, no. They're just all ugly. Like yeah, even like rump, which is like the worst term for a butt, like a female butt. Like it just makes me think of like a rump roast. Like, of course, I do work in a meat department, so maybe that's part of it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're missing an opportunity in the meat department to release like a beefcakes of the meat department calendar. Actually, not really, because I'm like probably the best looking one there, and everybody else is like a hard 55. And I'm not really like a beefcake. I'm like maybe like a beef cupcake, or like a beef like mini cupcake, or like a beef like one of those like cheesecake bites, because you know I'm kind of like cheesy and fluffy. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like Trump did have something good with that Make America Great Again. I feel like that was because it spells out mega. It's like a somewhat coherent acronym. And he's purposely vague about when America was so great, which I think is really good because you get like all the demographics. Because you know, like for some people, America was good during like the 80s during Reagan's time. For some people, it was World War II. For some people, it was like right before 9/11. So I just think it's not entirely accurate because America has never been that great for like women, homosexuals, people of color, immigrants. I feel like we need to make America great for everybody, which has an even better acronym, which spells MAGE, which I think is just a good acronym for that. Yeah. I've listened to the song Break Even by Script the other day, and as a lyric, the best part of me was always you, which I think is one of like the stupidest lyrics ever written. And this is like in the same world that Shot, Shot, Shot song exists. So I don't know. I think whoever wrote that needs to like just work on their self-esteem. And this is coming from a guy who's like sub-zero self-esteem. Like my self-esteem is like so low I can like just like frost a Coke on my chest. I I also like to dress up in a blue ninja outfit and fight a guy in a yellow ninja outfit. But enough about my hobbies. I think that's all I had. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Tim.
Woo!
Oh, good stuff. Sorry, Clyde. I had to mute your rapper was a little.
Sorry about that. I totally forgot.
No worries. I was trying to like private chat you, so I wasn't like calling you out, but I didn't know how. So. Good stuff, Tim. What was I going to say? You're talking about the ump thing. That's I feel like there's definitely a rule of three. You didn't say this, but I thought it was maybe a funny thing to work on. I put Trumpelstiltskin. Because I don't know if you guys know the folklore, but he was a troll. You said Trump make America great again, and I put like, great isn't always good. Like take the Depression, for example. If you want to like touch on, like, I'm trying to get some more examples of great. It's not like Great War. I can't think of any more, but when you said the Sub-Zero line, you didn't make a Mortal Kombat reference, but I feel like I feel like you could have. There's more possibilities for a Mortal Kombat joke, like something with the word fatality, finish him, flaw, like anything with like common words that you associate with Mortal Kombat. But yeah, that's all I could think of at the moment. But yeah, good stuff. Clyde, do you have anything to add?
So real quick, something that just resonated with me when you were giving the example about how you're not a beefcake, you're a beef. What did you say? I forgot what you said.
Like a cupcake, mini cupcake.
Beef cupcake. Okay, yeah. So I just started coming up with like different references for that. Like instead of a beefcake, you're a beef tart, or maybe instead of a beefcake, you're a beef donut hole, or a beef now and later, or a beef butterscotch, or
beef
a beef
pie.
peppermint. I'm talking, Scott.
Sorry, I'm just trying.
Beef sugar packet, beef sugar cube. All right, Scott, go ahead. That's
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm kidding, Scott,
no, I just think of beef pie. I just pie always associate with yeah. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I was thinking like similar things, but I was thinking like actual, like just like you said, you're either a beef cake or you're like you're a beef patty or like a beef stick, like other like shittier forms of beef that are like actual foods. To go with that, with like the things that popped into my head.
What about beef cake? It sort of sounds like cake, and it's kind of like close, and it rhymes. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's got that misdirect of beef cake. It's a weird visual.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. Just playing on words.
Because I don't have a six pack, I just have the whole cake.
Yeah, it's a broth.
beef
Joel?
smoothie. Huh.
No, I didn't really have anything.
All right, no problemo. Anything else with Winston or Clyde to add? And I won't interrupt this time. I'm sorry. Okay, just making sure I didn't want to interrupt. All right, good stuff again, Tim and Joel. Put spotlight on you. Whenever you're ready.
All right. So I'm learning in quarantine that I am completely addicted to my phone, and that the my battery life is directly connected to my life. Like my battery energy is directly connected to my life energy. Like when it's fully charged, I am 100%. I am invincible. I am Superman. If it gets below 50%, I start getting anxiety. I start getting depression about the future when it hits 20%, when it hits 10% in that red bar, because I let it go all the way. I don't understand like people like my wife. I have to whisper because her name's on the house, and but she is a 1%er where she just keeps her phone on 1% at all times. I don't know if we have any other adrenaline junkies in the room this evening, but I don't know how y'all ride the lightning like that. Just living on 1% at any moment, it could die. Like on 1%, I want to die. Like I'm on the verge. I'm on depression. I'm on the verge of a panic attack, just fiending for a charger. Like I've been at church on 1%, just praying to Lord, like, oh Lord, please, you rose from the dead. Please help my phone rise from the dead, Lord. Please, Lord. And while you're at it, my data is low. Could you make it unlimited, just like your love for all of us, Lord? Please, in Verizon's name we pray. Amen. But I cannot. My phone at this point is like an emotional support animal. Like I can't leave home without it. I even have like an orange OtterBox on it, like it's its safety vest, you know. And when I take it on a plane, you know, they'll tell you to shut it off when you take off, and I'll be like, oh no, I can't. I actually have a doctor's note saying it helps me with my social media anxiety is what it helps me with. But there's so many cool phone accessories now as well to like spruce it up, and it's becoming an extension of ourselves. Like the pop socket is evolution. It's fusing our hand and phone together. It's like the one step next. It's like in the Sistine's Chapel. I feel like one hand would be like a phone and the other would be a pop socket that connects the two. Because I think, I mean, at this point, like, honestly, like the pop socket, it's got to be the seventh wonder of the world. Like, I vote. I mean, between the pyramids and the squatty potty, I really do believe the pop socket is right in the middle there. Another thing I just saw, like, thinking of health foods, is they're selling chia seeds now. And I just thought there was some sort of funny idea there with Chia Pets. I don't have anything there. And the only other thing I have is about me being in middle school. I was actually the principal's kid, which made me, which is like being the warden's son of a prison. It really was a rough go because he was not a cool principal. He gave me in-school suspension. Like he wrote me up. Like I watched a fight and then ended up in school suspension, which in-school suspension basically is you sit in a cubicle all day. That's really what in-school suspension is. It just prepares you for the real world. It's like, oh, you can't act like a normal teenager? Well, you have to go be an adult for an entire day. Go sit in your cubicle and do your work all day. And then I had something about me making when we're talking about cereal, I wasn't allowed to have sugary cereals growing up, so I would have to like make my own, turn my Cheerios and like glaze them with like tablespoons of sugar, like doing my own. Like they start as Cheerios, but they ended up as like donuts. I wanted it to be like a sugar fondue I was cooking up, and I had the line, it would be like DIY-abetes. Is what I just wanted to say that. All right, cool. That's it.
All right, good stuff. Oh man, I can relate to a lot of the phone stuff. A lot of the phone stuff. So you say you're addicted to your phone. I'm just picturing you like, I don't know, like almost like snorting SIM cards or something like that. So, I don't know, something addicts would do, but like for phone stuff. I don't know much to add. I was trying to think of like a rehab, like a Betty Ford thing, but I trying to do like I couldn't think of anything parallel to phones.
Just jumping off of that point, I was always thinking it's like, I mean, drug addicts are always looking for the plug. It's like you, just like I'm just trying to find the plug. Where's the plug? Where can I get the brick? All right, I need the brick and the plug.
I'll suck your dick for a charge. What did I just say? I do. When you said the 1%, I was really like, I love the whole premise of that, and I was thinking like, it's almost like your phone's doing like your phone's like the Occupy movement, like it's the one like her 1%. Like we are the 99. Like I don't know, it's a little reversed though because the 1% is supposed to be the rich or whatever.
Right.
Oh, and you said, and when you said like 1%, I was like 1% is like your phone's like on like the catheter bag and life support. Like it's just like nobody wants to be at 1%. So that's what I was thinking of, like kind of like life when you're at 1%. You didn't say anything, but I was trying to think of like wordplay and like you're doing biblical stuff. So I put down tablet and Moses, like trying to like
Oh, interesting.
yeah, something like there. I love the idea of your phone that you actually have an emotional support phone. What else did I put down? This is the joke I haven't done, but I've written it, but I never did it. But like, because I was talking about how I had problems with my phone, and my phone's kind of like I'm paraphrasing, but it was kind of like the best way I can describe it was it's like Space Odyssey. It's like it has a hold on me. I was like, "What are you doing, Scott? I'm turning you off, phone. I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Scott. What if someone gives you a text that you don't know about? You know what I mean? Like kind of that's a reference that I don't know if it's a deep cut or not. When you said seventh wonder of the world, I put down iPhone seventh wonder of the world.
Yeah.
And then for the principal's kid, like I just feel like you could have made I just love the idea of like the principal's your dad, and then like you're in the indoor suspension and like have some sort of Breakfast Club theme, talking about the cereal. And then I also like the idea of you breaking bad your own cereal. Like it's like adding some things and like it's like a meth lab but for cereal, like your Walter White.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's all I added. But yeah, that's very, very funny stuff and relatable.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you were talking about praying in church, as soon as you started doing that, like praying for your phone, the only things I could think of was I was trying to think of parallels between like actual miracles Christ did and like how you could do that. It's just like, dear Lord, I know if you could make 5 loaves and 2 fish feed 1,000 people, you can make 7% last all day. Like, it's in there.
That's really good.
But it's like the type of bargaining people do during prayer. It's like, I promise if you keep my phone working all day, I won't Google insert whatever here. I promise I won't Google whatever.
That's great.
But there's a lot of different, I think, I was trying to think of one for turning water into wine. Like there's a lot of different like miracles that Christ did. I think you could just be like, if he can do those things, he can absolutely do just giving you more power in your battery. Like there's things that he could do. But
That's
I
really funny.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks.
That's really
Yeah,
funny.
you just talk about how you became you joined a Baptist church in that moment. Lord, if Jesus could make water turn into wine. I know
Yeah,
that you know. You're in Atlanta, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you're in
Yeah,
Georgia,
like, really
you know how it goes.
prayer. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, you
Well,
get
that's
that. You got that tough decision. Do you want to get baptized? You got your phone on you. It's like, don't worry, I can get baptized. I have a life proof case. I like, yeah, man, it's funny shit, dude.
Or it could even be like I do the prayer after getting baptized and forgetting my phone was in my pocket.
Oh yeah, dude, I like that. It's like I got baptized with the phone in the pocket, just like
all together.
you got baptized, they just lay you in a bed of rice. Brother Joel has to go lay in a field of rice.
The rice manger.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah.
It dies on Friday. It comes back in 3 days.
Yeah. There's a lot of parallels with the phone thing. You know, obviously don't want to overdo it, but while you're doing like I think the act out as like you made it sound like, you know, just I went to church with plenty of people that had the deep Southern accent while praying and just being loud and like almost like a deacon or something like that. I like that a lot. That was probably my favorite part of the bit. And I think that the bigger you make that with the more allusions to actual things in the Bible, I think would just be because, dude, I've heard so many like youth pastors just compare shit like that to the Bible, and it's just like unbelievable. And I think you have a really good voice for it, so I enjoyed that a lot.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Plus, you kind of look like a youth pastor, so.
I was just thinking that when he said youth pastor, I've been like roasted before being called a youth pastor. So it does play.
Yeah, it for sure it plays.
That's super helpful. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. Anybody else to add anything?
I feel like when you talked about in-school suspension, that's ISS.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think of with ISS? ISIS. They're growing terrorists out there. That's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then DIY Abitus. I like that, but I think you have to say DIY Abitus. You can't say beaties. You have to say beatus.
That's true.
That's just me. That's what I think. But other than that, yeah, dude, it's good stuff.
I'm super
I
happy.
feel like you could relate in school suspension to like being grounded by your dad somehow. Like you're grounded by him, but you also have to just like hang out with him at school or something. It's like bring your son to work day, but you're grounded.
Oh, bring your son to work days.
That is a funny concept. Yeah. I never had that.
Yeah, I was trying to think of in-school suspension would be like him telling me to go to my room. Like maybe he's a principal at home as well, and that could become a game within the joke.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what if he confuses school and home life? So, like, what he tells you to do, punches you at school, you do at home, kind of thing. I'm trying to think of examples, so, but like, I can't. Yeah.
Like he gives you extra homework because you won't eat your veggies.
I have chores. I'm a janitor at school or something.
Yeah.
I like the lines being blurred between home and school. Yeah.
Yeah. There's something there. I can't think of examples, but totally there's a lot to play with there.
Yeah, it's just insane. It's just like, I've always thought it's crazy. Like, if your parents work at the school, no matter what, you're technically homeschooled. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like what you do at all. It's like you're homeschooled but have bullies. It's like, that's not fair. None of them. But I like it, man. That's a good set. I enjoyed all that new stuff.
You turn out just as weird as a regular homeschool person too. So.
Oh yeah.
Or like you piss off the principal, who's your dad, and then like he brings, like, you hate when he brings work home with him. Well, like he gives you shit at home as like, no, this is at school. This should be like a separate thing. Like I am son Joel, and then I am student Joel. Like I think you can separate the two or not, but yeah. Once again, good stuff. Clyde, you wanna
Oh my gosh.
wrap her up, everybody? Let me know when you're ready. We'll put the timer on.
Sure. Let's try out some of these things. Yeah, go ahead and start it. I'll just catch up. So I imagine even in Canada, you've heard of Hooters. People have, it's a bunch of women serving wings, wearing these tight shirts around here, Hooters. You get it. You get the imagery. Well, I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a record service of all women wearing booty shorts. I'm going to call it camel towing. All right, scratch that. All right, so I have a lot of teachers that run in my family. My mom's a teacher. Her mom was a teacher. Her mom was a teacher and a principal actually at the school where my grandmother taught. My aunts and uncles are teachers and coaches. My sister is a professor. People ask me why I'm not a teacher. I say, well, if I'm going to be standing up talking in front of a bunch of drunk people laughing at me, I'd rather do it on stage instead of in the classroom. Because those seventh graders, well, being seventh grade, it's like pretty much the same thing as being drunk. But even though I was not a teacher, I was a substitute teacher. Substitute teacher job, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. 3 things you have to remember about being a sub, okay? First thing, you got to take the role. That's the first thing you got to do. Second thing you do is you got to hand out the work. Third thing you have to do, and this is very important, make sure you do not cuss out the kids. 3 rules about being a sub, that's it, okay? Now, one time I was in a sub. As a sub, I get the opportunity to see like the direction that society is going, like mainstream society. I get to see it, like with it's crazy. It's just weird. It's weird the stuff you see, because like first thing, I was in this classroom and I was taking the role. Now my mother was an English teacher, so when it comes to words and names, I'm pretty good. First 3 kids, Haley, Bailey, Kaylee, I got it, no problem. All these people, easy names. All right. But then I come to this one, I say, okay, is Lola here? Nobody says anything. So I'm like, all right, well, Lola's not here, I guess. And then so I start to move on, but this little girl, she raises her hand, she's like, Mr. Williams, did you call me? I said, well, let me see. I just said, Lola. Are you Lola? And she said, Lola? That's the name for an old person. That's not my name. Well, Lola. I think that spells Lola. What is it? No, my name is LOL. Hey, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. I said, okay, well, thank you. I have you written down. Now I'm trying to move on, but then there's this kid. He gets up and he's like, hey, yo, Mr. Williams, hey, if you need anything, I'm gonna help you. Okay, you just let me know. You just say the word. I got your back, cuz. I'm like, all right, thanks. Now this kid, these are like elementary school kids, but this kid looks like 50 Cent. And I'm like, okay, who are you? And it's like, oh, well, you know me. Everybody know me. My name Lil Mayo. Ha ha. And I'm a PAMP. All right, first of all, you don't know how to spell. I don't know what a pamp is, first of all. But I'm looking for his name. Lil Mayo. And I find it. His name is spelled LMAO. Lil Mayo. It's freaking dumb. I don't know. I just pop culture just permeates the society in the wrong way. It's just stupid. It's dumb. Anyway, so moving on. Okay, I went on to phase 2. I'm handing out the work. Now these are little kids, so their assignment's pretty simple. Is you take a word and you make 3 sentences out of it. It's really simple. It's not that hard. But of course, this little girl, she comes, Mr. Williams, I need help. I can't do it. I need help with my as I'm about to try to assist this young LOL, I'm not doing the whole thing. Lil Mayo comes over. He's like, hey, L, I got you. All you gotta do is holler at your boy. Okay. You want to ask me 24 questions? I got the 25 answers. I'm like, no. And before I can even say anything, she's like, no, Mayo, no, I don't want your help because you're too dumb to help me. I want a teacher. And Lil Mayo, he's not having that at all. He's like, hey, I'm not dumb. I've already done my work. Okay, my word was glass. Okay, my mama, she drank out of a glass. Those windows, they made out of a glass. And I'm not stupid. So you need to leave me alone with your glass. I said, Lil Mayo, my God. Thank you, Lil Mayo. Please just go sit your glass down. Please, thank you. Remember how I said I used to be a substitute teacher? That was my last day. Broke the 3rd rule. Cussed the kid out. I was like, it's a word. It was part of his assignment. They didn't see it that way. All right. 1 minute. Okay. So there's a phrase. I go to church. I like church. I've been going to church my whole life. I don't know if you can tell by the way I cuss, say shit, fuck, damn, ass, pussy, lick. Anyway, so this phrase that they have at church is called "Look at God." I don't know if you've heard of it. Look at God. I love this phrase, but people have been saying it for everything. You can't say "look at" because the phrase is "Look at God for what He has done for me, with the blessing He has bestowed upon my life." Look at God. But they say it for everything. Everything. Like you walk in a room and the TV is already on. Look at God. Amen. Like that's too much. Like or you gotta take your sister's kids to the movies, but then you realize Tinseltown serves alcohol. Look at God. Amen. He wants me to make this. All right. 1 minute still up. Did I go over? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh, it's fine. You're fine.
Am I? Okay. Well, this last part. Okay. So this guy, buddy of mine, he got a letter in the mail and he was reading. It was a paternity suit. And he kept reading it. He saw that it was addressed to the wrong person. You know what he said? Look at God. Amen. I'm going to keep going out in these streets. Look at what the Most High has done for me, the blessings He keeps bestowing upon. Anyway, I'm sorry. That's my time. Thank you so much.
Good stuff, man.
I feel bad. I went over by like 7 minutes, didn't I? 7 minutes?
No,
didn't I?
6.5. You're fine. It's all good. You're the last person, and we're not even at 2 hours, so it's all good.
And Winston was so gracious, and I'm just shitting all over that. Gosh dang.
No, it's all about balance. I'm teasing. No, it's fine. I said it. If you go over, I said it in order. If you go over, it's fine. Just if it's 10, it's one thing, but if it's like 2 minutes, it's all good. You said camel towing. Like, that sounds like the worst repossession company ever.
Nah. My God.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, when you're talking about you used to be a sub. We were saying there's 3 rules, and it made it sound like it was fight sub. like a Fight Club reference. 3 rules of Fight Zone. I really feel like there's a lot you can like. There's like callback. There's so much you can do with the acronyms, with like the names, like LOL. Because like I feel like you can reply to the students like SMH, like shake my head, or you know what I mean. Like I feel like there's more you can play around with possibly. When you say the kid looked like 50th Cent, I feel like I was just saying like, oh, she was shot 9 times, but not with like something else. Shot with a spitball or something. I don't know. And it's a PIMP, more like a PIMP squeak. And then we're talking about the look at God stuff. Like look at God. I feel like is that like church folks' LOL? Like you know what I mean? Like is that their like lingo? I was thinking maybe you can go there.
Maybe.
Like you can totally use that as a call. Like you can use that. Like I feel like that whole set you have, like the whole joke you have with sub teacher and like the LOL, that could be a callback somewhere. Like I feel there's something there, but yeah, that's all I got. Good stuff, buddy.
Woo.
Anybody else?
Well, I do feel like you mentioned the 7th graders being kind of like drunks. I feel like you could maybe like compare and contrast them. Like you have maybe a few examples. They're like drunks.
Of how the 7th graders are like drunks?
Yeah.
Like maybe how they dress or how they smell or
Slur.
Yeah, their grammar, how they talk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Drunk tank could be timeout.
Yeah, I liked the 3 rules. I just felt like they could be quicker. And I don't know if it's like the application said these 3 rules or if the principal was like, can you abide by these 3 rules? Like I think they just need to be quicker. But I like the rules. It could just editing them down a little bit to be delivered quicker. And maybe if it would be funnier if it was coming from the principal telling you this, or on the application, if that was those were the only qualifications, as if you could manage these 3 rules. And then the only other thing I had, Pamp, and then I didn't know if it would be short for Pampers because he was a kindergartner. Or your name should be Pampers because you need to change them or something like that. And then the premise that was seemingly to come up with the phrase "look at God," and then you gave the example of like the TV. It seemed like the premise forming is people using these church phrases for completely non-church related things. So it could be the TV came on, look at God, or I don't know. I can't even think of like the drug dealer responded, look at God. Just like things that aren't religious, but people using these religious phrases within them could be a fun way to play on that.
Like, sorry, I just thought something to add. So, like for example, say if someone's about to be late, like, oh, he's here, amen. Like, you mean amen? You know what I mean? Like,
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but that's all I can think of to add or that connected to my thought pattern there.
Yeah, just using it in a non-church related sense. Yeah, that seemed to be where the premise was headed. I don't know if that's the direction you were taking it, but
yeah, that's it. Like these jokes are like for whatever reason I've not been able to fix these or to get them where I want them. I guess that's a better way to put it. And so yeah, that premise is like, yeah, those for anything, and it's not church related, just stupid stuff that happens, and you just you're gonna blame the Most High. Don't blame the Most High. Don't give him. I mean, it's like you're just gonna give him credit for everything. It's like, nah, the condom didn't break. Look at God, amen. Like that's
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I just thought of that. I'm gonna use that. Okay, maybe. All right.
Yeah, and what are all the other phrases? Like, look at God is one. Like you said, let him use you.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, and giving him a more personal context
Or
of
peace
it's
be
like,
unto you.
say what?
I heard peace be on to you. Someone said that.
Hmm.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's another good one. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was just trying to brainstorm. And then who are you saying them to, or who is saying them to you? Like, it could be getting pulled over by the police, or it could be someone you know that's super religious that uses them all the time, even when it's not religious. Could be opening a Christmas gift. I mean, it seems like the more mundane the example to contrast with the more like religious phrase, that contrast seems to be what would create a lot of the humor too.
Like how people are the most religious during sex, or like the most like non-religious things.
Mm-hmm. Or she let me go raw. Look at God. And I don't know. You know, maybe the condom didn't break. You know, or yeah, I don't. It just, that one just seems to play to like your performance and your ability to like do act outs. Like it seemed like you could have a lot of fun with that premise.
That is, yeah, definitely agree to that. Tim and Winston, did you have anything to add?
Nah, man. Honestly, y'all pretty much said the things I was gonna say. I used to teach, so I love anytime I'm hearing like teaching stories. It's a super freaking relatable topic, especially like I don't know. I enjoyed it, man. I always like hearing comics talk about kids and teaching and stuff. It always hits me right in the sweet spot. So I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Or as my nephew likes to say, it hit me right in my black parts. I was like,
Hilarious.
That's
Okay.
too funny.
Hilarious.
Tim, did you want to add anything, buddy?
I can't think of a thing now.
No
I liked it.
problem.
I like the peace be with you. I like that.
Sorry, you cut out
addition.
there. Yeah, no.
Funny line, yeah.
I feel like you can just like Google a bunch of church sayings, kind of thing, and just like kind of play around with it. You know what I mean?
yeah, sometimes when I do that, I will
There's gotta be a lot.
like I'll mention different sayings that I like, and sometimes I'll do is I will like if I know I'm around church people, I will do this thing where I have them sing along with me. It's like, okay, when I hit y'all with the mic, you're gonna say God. Okay, all right, let go and let God. Stuff like that, and then we get to look at God, and it's like he might not come when you want him, but as always, and I hit him with the mic, and half of them will say God because they're following the instructions blindly. The others will use the real phrase, which is, but he's always on time. And that's always a little thing. But of course, I don't know that y'all are church people, so I didn't do that. And plus, apparently, I ran over time like a jerk. Anyway,
No, you didn't go, dude. You didn't go over that much. It's all good. Thank you for your guilt, though. Truly,
it's
God
my
be your
black
name.
guilt. It's my black guilt.
It's just not like the worst freaking name. Oh, sorry, just like the worst like cop show. It's like black guilt, white privilege. Oh, that's a weird.
Working
show.
together for the common
Yeah.
good.
That's just cops.
Yeah, Well
That's
played.
fantastic.
Well played.
Yes,
And-
checkmate. You cannot top that. That's very funny. Hey everybody, thank you so much for doing this, and hope you had a great time. Before we say adieu or say goodbye, this is a chance to plug any projects, social medias, anything you want people to follow you on. So let's Winston, did you have anything you wanted to share?
Yeah, you can follow me on everything at Winston H Comedy. TikTok's what I prefer. I'm posting a bunch of stuff there. WinstonHodges.com has all my podcasts, and you can catch me this Sunday at Good Nights, featuring for Chris Allen, who's doing his album recording, and then my website has all my other upcoming gigs and stuff.
That sounds amazing, and I'm so jealous of you live performing. But good stuff, man. Congrats. Tim, what do you have?
I'm on Facebook, Tim I. Miller Comedy. I have a podcast, the end of the show as we know it, where I talk about series finales of shows, which is on
Ooh.
Spotify.
Awesome. That sounds great. And Joel, I know you have some stuff to promote, so please.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, you could just check out my YouTube channel, Hot Breath Comedy Network. If you're watching on Facebook and you enjoy writing, definitely search Comedy Writing Room. And I do a daily writing club in there at 10 a.m. We get a new word and write a new joke every day, and we do monthly contests in there, and just all around supporting comedians and learning to write better jokes. So, and the podcast is called Hot Breath. Wherever you listen to podcasts, I do a comedy interview podcast as well. So, yeah, all about comedy.
Awesome. And highly recommended, because I checked out Hot Breath, and a very great resourceful tool for comics to grow and learn. So, yes, I would definitely advise people to do that. And Clyde, you have anything you wanted to promote, share, plug?
Not too much. You can follow me at the Real Clyde Williams. It's there on my name on Instagram. I post sometimes, I think, humorous videos and artwork and things like that. So
Nice.
not too much. I do also want to say, definitely follow Winston, because I follow him already, and he does these daily videos. They are hilarious. They're amazing.
Oh, cool. Thanks, dude.
And definitely follow Hot Breath. I just joined. I'm not a joiner, but I just joined. And also check out those interviews. Those interviews are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they are amazing. I just watched 3 of them today.
Hot Breath interviews?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Oh,
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I watched. I can't think of his name right now. The Joke Doctor. You know what? We can talk after the thing is done.
Oh.
This show's 2 hours. You know.
That's what, I think it's on something, isn't it? Sorry, it's been a while. Yeah, thank you so much, Clyde. And you can follow. Well, I'm going to promote more so the projects I had rather than me. The comedy workshop we do is every day, 10 p.m. EST, unless something happens. But for the most part, we have it every day. As far as I like it for it to be. We also have Turbo Comedy, which I promoted earlier. That is my mic on?
Mm-hmm.
Can I be?
Yes.
Okay, I might just unplug this damn thing. All right, Turbo Comedy every Monday. I think the last show is the 26th. We have 8 comics who are on the same panel for about 6-7 weeks, 2 months usually. So if something happens, 2 months. They get 1 hour to write jokes, 3 minutes on a topic. At the end of their sets, every comic who is performed, they vote. The comics vote for their favorite comic. It's anonymous, so nobody knows where they're at in the rankings. And the last show's on the 26th. These are up Monday at 8 p.m. EST. There's only 3 shows left. There we go. And yeah, good time. Also, we have the Workshop Comedy Podcast. That's been finally released after having so many episodes. Figured I have enough content to do some editing. So yeah, we got some podcasts out right now. Join it at facebook.com/ the Comedy Workshop. That's the page. We're also just go to iTunes, Spotify, anywhere where you catch podcasts, put the Comedy Workshop, and we got a few already ready for you. And I think I have one of them as Clyde as well in that one. So yeah. Thank you again, everybody, so much. I really hope you had a great time. Thank you for everybody tuning in and hoping you had a marvelous time. And yeah, appreciate all of you. Have a great night, everybody.